They deliberately crossed their arms in front of me, making quite a show of it. Well, 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 why has the underperforming, low-income guy come back to headquarters? Sorry, but your beloved ex-wife is now my wife. They were wearing matching rings on their left ring fingers. I let out a deep sigh. And then, at that moment, President Johnson, it's time for your appointment. A beautiful woman with her long black hair neatly tied up took my hand and smiled warmly. My name is Eric Johnson. I work in the HR department at the headquarters of a certain IT company. I don't have any particularly outstanding skills, but I think I manage my tasks quite well. Well, I've been what people would call a typical office worker, the kind found everywhere. I landed a job at an average company and married Sophie, whom I met there. Hey Eric, are you doing good? Oh Sophie, not too bad, and how about you? Although we work in different departments, Sophie often comes to see me during breaks like this. Do you think you can leave on time today? Why don't we try the new French restaurant that opened up near the station? Sounds nice, and let's do it. Great, I can't wait. Sophie, who is 4 years younger than me, has a charming yet slightly cheeky personality. Well, she's still adorable in that way too, and I often find myself giving in to what she wants. People often tease me for being a henpecked husband with a young wife, but I was quite satisfied with our married life. It seems like my life is just good with no problem, but even I have things I struggle with. Having a date night with beloved wife after leaving work on time, very nice, huh? Brandon. Among the things I struggle with, my relationship with Brandon, who is the HR department manager, is the most challenging. I've always found it difficult to deal with him because he always seems to look down on others and make snide remarks. It's fine to show off like that, but make sure you fix the mistakes in the documents before you leave. Excuse me, was there any mistake anywhere? Come on, you're so distracted that you don't even notice such mistakes. It's good that you get along with your wife, but make sure to maintain a balance between your personal life and work, okay? With a sneering smile, Brandon pushed the documents back to me. When I checked the returned documents, indeed, there were some mistakes that I should have noticed. That's strange. My manager should have checked it as well. It might be a coincidence, but whenever Brandon is involved, inexplicable mistakes seem to occur more frequently. Well, no point in suspecting anything. I have no evidence that Brandon is doing behind my back, and it's my waste of time to pursue it, stirring up trouble. With a sense of resignation, I headed back to my desk. At work, while Brandon often made me in trouble, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that having Sophie in the same company kept me sane. Sophie's presence was that much of a comfort to me. But lately, there's been an indescribable sense of unease about Sophie. Sophie, that French restaurant we went to the other day was pretty good, wasn't it? How about we go again next weekend? Well, yes, not bad. Lately, Sophie seems more interested in her phone than in our conversations, even at home. Sophie, how about putting away your phone during meals? Yup, sorry, just a little more. Oh well, I don't blame you though. Not long ago, we used to enjoy spending time together as a couple, talking about each other at dinner, but now, because of Sophie's refusal to let go of her phone, there is hardly any conversation. Honestly, I do like her capricious like cat's nature. But lately, it feels like it's getting a bit too much. And then, one day, that incident happened. Hey, what is this? What's going on here? While at work, Brandon suddenly raised his voice and, with documents in hand, stormed over to me. Eric, you were in charge of this project, right? Yes, but what's wrong? Look at this, what a bunch of bullshit recruiting information. No way. I couldn't believe my eyes. The document thrust in front of me was about a hiring plan for the current fiscal year, filled with impossible employment conditions and numbers of positions. It's definitely a case I had, and my signature was on it as well. But I had no idea what the document was about. Please wait. I don't remember preparing a document with this content. Shut up. The information has already been available to the public. What are you going to do about this? As unbearably as I tried to voice my protest, Brandon revealed his anger in an even angrier voice than that. I've overlooked your minor mistakes until now, but this time, you caused too much damage to the company. You, a disgrace to the headquarters. Just get out of here and start your life over at a remote branch office in the countryside. Brandon, wait. Caught off guard by his sudden angry notice of demotion, I was at a loss for words. As I was trying to figure out what to say, a quiet voice intervened. Wait, Brandon, that's not right. Nathan. The one who spoke up was a colleague named Nathan. It was unusual for the normally calm Nathan to voice his opinion like this. A hiring plan for the current fiscal year was supposed to be shared with the entire department. Brandon, you checked it too, right? And yet, to discover such mistakes after the information has been made public. What are you talking about? Are you saying it was my fault? I'm not saying that, but this is just too much. Shut up, you, Nathan. If you have further complaints against me, I am going to give you the transfer notice like that, too. Brandon, you're the head of HR, aren't you? Do you really think such arrogant personnel changes are justified? Nathan, that's enough. Don't say any more. I hurriedly stopped Nathan. If I let him say anything more, Nathan might really get into trouble too. Are you sure? Yup. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. That's all right, thanks. I patted Nathan's back a few times, who nodded but still looked frustrated. That's okay if you understand. Hey Eric, I'll issue the transfer order next week. Look forward to it. I see. Brandon looked down on me with a triumphant smile. Nothing made sense, but I really didn't want to lose a good friend like Nathan. Telling myself it was a time to be patient, I accepted the sudden notice of demotion. I went home that day, feeling gloomy. How should I explain this to Sophie, and will I end up on a solo assignment? Were the only thoughts on my mind as I made my way home. Hey, I'm home. Hi, how was your day? As usual, Sophie was engrossed in her phone, not even bothering to look up at me when I returned. But first, I had to break the news about my transfer to the remote branch office. Sophie, we need to talk. I steeled myself and sat down opposite Sophie, who was lounging on the sofa. And what? Will you listen to me carefully? It's important. So what? That's pretty much annoying. I'm sorry, but I really want you to listen carefully. In front of Sophie, who was pouting, I straightened up. After taking a few deep breaths, I opened my mouth to speak up. Sophie, I've been transferred to a remote branch office. What? A transfer to a remote branch? After a pause, Sophie abruptly sat up from the sofa. Wait, isn't that more like a demotion than a transfer? I'm sorry. Her straightforward accusation left me speechless. As I silently apologized deeply, Sophie let out an exaggerated sigh. What a disappointment. Your steady income was the only benefit to me, so from now there would be no merit left for me if you were demoted. You say what? I couldn't believe my ears. Looking up at Sophie, she was looking down at me with a coldness I had never seen before. You know what? If you're transferred to a remote branch, you'll be making less money than me, who's at the headquarters. Well, that's enough, Eric. Let's get a divorce. A divorce? Sophie, you know what you're talking about. Of course I do. I can't stand being married to a man who makes less than me. Got it. If so, sign this paper and get out of this house soon. She aggressively thrust a piece of paper, which is the document to file for divorce, at me. Sophie already filled out all, even with her signature on that. Sophie, why do you have this? Don't you know that yet? I had it prepared just in case something happened so we could split up right away, because your only appeal was your money. Anyway, I was plunged into darkness. Sophie, who had once given me comfort, was now looking down at me with the same disdain as Brandon. I see. It seemed like there was nobody left on my side. Thinking of it, suddenly nothing else mattered to me at all. I did as Sophie asked, signed the papers, packed my things, and left home alone. Later, the transfer order came through, and accordingly I was sent to a remote branch office. Hi, I am Eric, and I've been assigned to the sales department as of today. I'm Natalie, your manager and your mentor. Nice to meet you. Pleased to meet you too. I shook hands with her lightly. My new boss was a woman named Natalie. She was about my age, or maybe a bit older. She was beautiful, with long black hair neatly tied up. Well, let me get straight to it. I'll explain the workflow. Oh, sure. Natalie smiled gently, making me momentarily flustered. Hey, Eric, already smitten with Natalie. Oh, no, don't mean that. I'm sorry. Alex, stop joking around and get to work, and be gentle with Eric. He's just new here. Eric, sorry about that. Looks like it's your first time working in sales, but don't be nervous. Your beautiful boss, Natalie, will kindly teach you everything. Alex, watch what you're saying. Haha, my bad. Eric, sorry about that too. Alex is our director. He is kind like that but not a bad person at all. No problem. This department has a bright and fun atmosphere, doesn't it? Haha, our department has the best interpersonal relationships, better than anywhere else. Natalie said with a playful laugh, looking really beautiful. Even though I had just gone through a divorce from Sophie, I might be experiencing love at first sight for the first time in my life. One day, as I was gradually getting accustomed to the work at the office, everyone in the department threw a welcome party for me. Everyone, today everything's on me. Enjoy yourselves with much food and drink, and let's celebrate Eric's new beginning here together. Cheers. With Alex's toast, I poured the ice-cold beer down our throats. The drink, after so long, tasted exceptionally good. Oh Eric, you're drinking like a champ. Anyway, enjoy yourself comfortably, okay? Well, thanks, I'm totally fine. It's just been a while since I had such good drink. Oh, has it? Yes, my wife didn't drink, so. Oh, Eric, you were married, weren't you? I was but divorced lately. I caught myself after talking too much. Despite the team organizing welcome party for me tonight, I ended up voicing complaints that dampened the mood. Sorry, I shouldn't have brought that up. No problem. Hey, why don't you let it all out here, since we're all together? What? To tell you the truth, many employees are puzzled about how to interact with you since you came from headquarters, so please take this opportunity to tell everyone about yourself. All right, then. Encouraged gently by Natalie, I shared about the unfair treatment I got at the headquarters and the circumstances leading to my divorce from Sophie. Eric, you've been through a lot, man. Alex, please don't cry. You've had too much drink. As Alex sweeps upon hearing my story, Natalie discreetly passes him some paper napkins and a glass of water. So the headquarters is really that cutthroat, huh? You did well to endure all that. That's admirable. Thank you very much. The other employees, who had been keeping their distance and watching over me, now approached me in a friendly manner. Thanks to Natalie encouraging me to share my story, I felt like I had become much closer to everyone in the department that day. "Hey Eric, what would we have for lunch today? How about the Mexican restaurant across the street?" "Sounds nice, let's go." "Wait, young men, eat vegetables occasionally for your health, you know. Here are some veggie juice for you all, so just drink it up before going." "Wow, great. Thank you so much." Thanks to the welcome party the other day, I had completely blended in with the sales department at the office. I had become good friends with the employees around my age, eating lunch together, and the long-time female employees often brought in treats like this. "Eric, I know it's short notice, but could you join me for the client visits this afternoon?" "Sure, no problem." "Great. Do you remember the client we visited together the other day? They really took a liking to you, and they've expressed a desire to have you take on future responsibilities." "Oh really? But Natalie, wasn't that client originally brought in by you?" "That doesn't matter. Meeting our clients' needs is our top priority. I'll hand everything over to you today, so I'm counting on you." "Thank you so much." Work was going smoothly too. Natalie is a genuinely nice person with a pleasant personality. She readily passes on her achievements to her subordinates for the sake of the clients, without any hesitation. She was nothing like Brandon, who was at the headquarters. I found myself increasingly drawn to Natalie. Since transferring to this office, I've genuinely started to enjoy my work for the first time. "Eric, congratulations on landing the major contract." "Thank you." "That's amazing. I've tried convincing them for a while, but they wouldn't budge." "It's all thanks to Natalie's guidance. I truly appreciate it." Today, I'm raising a toast with Natalie at a slightly fancy bar. Since then, I've become increasingly interested in Natalie and have been finding reasons to invite her out after work and on days off. Now, we've become close friends in our private lives as well. It's truly amazing. This might actually be talent. Come on, that's exaggerated. Not at all. This is the biggest contract our branch has ever secured, and our sales figures are the highest ever. This is really something, you know. Natalie's eyes sparkle with excitement as she passionately makes her point. It makes me smile to see that she has this side to her, even though she is always so firm. "Hey, what's wrong? Is there something on my face?" "Sorry, I just thought you looked adorable." "There you go again. You're really something, you know. Such a charmer." Blushing, Natalie hastily takes a sip of her wine, trying to hide her embarrassment. Watching her, I can help but enjoy the slightly wicked thought of truly winning her over. 2 years have passed since I transferred to this office, a comfortable place to work. We're here. Yes, the big moment has finally come. Today, Natalie and I are visiting the headquarters. The reason is that my achievements at the branch office have been formally recognized, and I'm scheduled to have a presentation in the board meeting here. With a renewed spirit, I passed through the entrance of the head office building I was accustomed to going to. After checking in, we head to the designated conference room, only to find some people I'd rather not see. Wow, look who it is. It's Eric, isn't it? Sophie. Well, why has the underperforming, low-income guy come back to headquarters? I'm here because I was invited, that's all. Are you sure? You messed up something again, didn't you? Oh, hey, Brandon, over here. What's up, Sophie? Oh, it's Eric. Long time no see. I thought you'd left the company long ago. Sophie beckons Brandon over. Despite his usual condescending look, something else caught my attention. Brandon, you seem quite close to Sophie. Oh, noticed that, Eric. Sorry for you, but your beautiful ex-wife is now my wife, right, Sophie? Yup, that's how it is, right, Eric? They deliberately crossed their arms in front of me, making quite a show of it. They were wearing matching rings on their left ring fingers. Oh well, congratulations then. In front of their smug smiles, I offered my congratulations with polite words. Sophie seems displeased, pursing her lips at my reaction. Come on, you should look more upset. Leave him alone, Sophie. He's clearly holding back a lot. Really? No way. Of course, after all, he lost such a beautiful wife to me. I'm really disappointed to see them start flirting with each other without being bothered by the eyes around them. At the same time, I wonder what I ever saw in Sophie. The news of their marriage doesn't stir any feelings in me. Shall we begin? At that moment, Natalie, who had been quietly standing by my side, steps forward and glances at Sophie and Brandon. Excuse me, who is this lady? Sorry for the late introduction. I'm Natalie, the sales department manager from the branch. Sales manager in the branch office. Natalie, wait, you can't be. Oh, you knew me. You are indeed the human resource manager of the headquarters, no matter how incompetent you are. Wait, what? What's going on here? Brandon, caught off guard, flicked his eyes back and forth beside Sophie, who looked utterly confused by the unfolding events. Feeling a bit anxious about the complicated situation, I was relieved when Natalie took my hand and smiled reassuringly. All right, President Johnson, it's time. Hut, the President Johnson, what's this lady talking about? Is she crazy? Hey, Sophie, that's enough. This lady is. Sophie, visibly irritated, lunged at Natalie, but Brandon hurriedly intervened to stop her. I see, let's go. I'm not the president yet, though. Sorry, I got a little pissy myself. Well, I'm glad I got to see your lovely side on that one. Excuse me, that's enough of it. Let's go now. Alrighty. Urged by a blushing Natalie, I began preparing for the presentation. The presentation at the board meeting went off without a hitch. With that, I conclude my report. Thank you all for listening. Thank you very much. The moment I finished my presentation, the room erupted in a round of applause. Bravo, that's my family indeed. The loudest applause came from President Thompson, the president of the company. I returned a polite greeting to a beaming President Thompson. President Thompson, I'm very grateful for your compliments. Hey Eric, let's stop talking coldly like that now. You can call me Dad, you know. President Thompson, we are in the middle of work. Why would Natalie say that? Well, since we're all here, let's make the announcement. Dad, please. Come on, it's okay. President Thompson, excitedly holding a microphone, seemed to mildly annoy Natalie. While calming her, I attentively listened to President Thompson's words. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an important announcement to make. Eric, who just had the great presentation here, is engaged to my daughter. We will soon welcome him as a president's assistant to the headquarters, so please keep that in mind. President Thompson's speech was met with another round of applause. Meanwhile, in a corner of the meeting room, only Sophie and Brandon were turning pale and shrinking in size. Come to think of it, Eric was originally working here at the headquarters, right? Yes, I worked in the HR department until 2 years ago. Why would someone as talented as you be transferred to that branch? That's because. Saying this, I glanced at Brandon in the corner of the room. Brandon was shaking his head as if begging me not to continue, but I had already decided to reveal everything. 2 years ago, I was wrongly held responsible for others' mistake and was transferred to the branch by Brandon. What? Let me hear more about that. Hey Brandon, come here. You were in HR, right? Yes. Brandon approached, looking diminished as President Thompson beckoned him. Brandon, what's this about? Explain yourself. Well, it was true that Eric made a serious mistake, and I was just doing my job as the HR manager to transfer him to the branch. It seems there is a discrepancy in your stories. If only there was some evidence. Just as President Thompson looked troubled, a voice rang out. I have evidence. It was Nathan who boldly declared. Nathan, you. Sorry I'm late. I've finally gathered some convincing evidence. While saying this, Nathan inserted the USB stick he was holding into the computer connected to the projector. After a moment, audio and video began to play on the screen in the meeting room. The video showed Brandon and Sophie together. Are you sure this is okay? It's fine. It's been over a year since then. Nobody is going to dredge up the past now. Really? So, can we get married finally? Yes, that's right. That's why I discredited Eric. Man, it was tough altering the contents of the proposal to that extent. Brandon, you are so bad. Sophie, I'd do anything for you. If there's someone you don't like, just let me know. I can fire them with my HR department head powers. Wow, thank you. The video cut off as Brandon and Sophie embraced on the screen. The meeting room erupted in murmurs. As you can see, Brandon and Sophie, Eric's ex-wife, were in an inappropriate relationship. The biggest mistake in the HR department at that time was Brandon's self-induced attempt to get Eric and Sophie divorced. What a lamentable thing. President Thompson was trembling with anger after watching the video. Brandon, no more excuses. I'm so sorry. An apology doesn't cut it. This is practically a violation of human rights. Appropriate measures will be taken against you. Stay confined to your home until further notice. Did you understand that? Yes. In front of an infuriated President Thompson, Brandon was shaking nonstop. Seeing him like that, I finally felt as if the lingering bitterness in my heart was melting away. Nathan, thank you. If I was of any help, that's great. There's more evidence, so if you need it, just let me know. Thanks a lot. Nodding to each other, Nathan and I exchanged handshakes. Sometime after the incident at headquarters, I got a call from Sophie. Hi Eric, I'm sorry but I never imagined it would come to this. Brandon and I both got fired. What should I do from now? Please help me. I could hear Sophie's sweet, coaxing voice coming from the other end of the phone. In the early days of our marriage, I would readily give in to Sophie's whims and do whatever she asked. But now, I feel absolutely nothing. And what do you want me to do? You know what I mean. Hey, let's start over. Okay, Eric, I don't need that old guy anymore and you are truly only one for me. You don't want that old lady as your fiancée, do you? Hey, Sophie. Sighing deeply, I proceeded to make things clear to Sophie. I've already officially married Natalie. Given what happened, I knew you'd try to reach out to me like this. What? No way, tell me it's not true. You married that old lady. It's not too late to call it off. I'm younger and prettier, right? Come on. You know it's true. Sophie, you're a mature adult. If you keep this up, I'll have to take appropriate action. What? Are you talking about a lawsuit? Well, unusually perceptive of you. Yes, that's what I mean. If you understand, then please behave accordingly. Got it? What? How dare you, Eric? Yes, regarding the alimony for the affair with Brandon, I'll be filing a separate claim for that, so just be prepared. Alimony? No way, I don't have that much money. I hung up before Sophie could finish her sentence. That was the moment when everything finally came to an end. Time passed and the seasons changed. Here we go. Natalie, be careful. Let me carry the heavy stuff for you. Oh, come on Eric, this is nothing to worry about. Just stop it, okay, Natalie, please sit down. Well, alrighty, then. Today was the day we moved into our new apartment. Our new place was a 3-bedroom apartment, ideal for families. I was working at the headquarters as an assistant to the president. And Natalie, with her growing belly, is on maternity leave. Indeed, the child that Natalie and I are expecting is due to arrive soon. Natalie, what's wrong? I swear I will absolutely make you and our baby happy. Eric, thank you so much, and I swear the same too. I will definitely make both you and our baby happy. As I gently kiss her belly, Natalie strokes my head with a tender touch. Many things happened in the past, but now we are living a happy life together.